Hey y'all, hey, we are back. I am back. But hey, how y'all doing?
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Sunday, what's up?
What's going on?
You gotta be all cool.
YouTube land?
What's up? But
before we start off our topic today, guys, I just want to say that I love Cardi B. Yeah. That's all.
That's it.
That's it.
And then I'm gonna say, what's my random thing? Y'all didn't get to see my tiara. I got a tiara. I'm gonna put it up here. I wear it every year, y'all. It's so funny. But it was my birthday.
We let them know last week that you were out for your birthday.
Oh, I slept so good. I slept so good for 2 days.
Oh, that's good. All right, Anthony's going to kick us off this morning, guys, and with his topic of what we want to discuss, and it's going to be deep. So I hope everybody can understand where we're going to be going with this. So go ahead, Anthony, and roll it on out.
Be ready.
What's up, y'all? I saw on the news, I guess we all did this week, about the lieutenant governor, the black guy, used to be former lieutenant governor in Virginia, how he killed his wife and himself, and his son or daughter. He had two teenage kids. They discovered the mom, and they had to experience that, and they called the police. And so I just kind of wanted to touch on this violence and murder of our black and brown women in this country, and quite frankly around the world. But we're going to stick to the country for now, and we'll do a part 2 about the violence and murder of black and brown women across the world, because it's also very bad in Brazil, the assault and murder of black people in Brazil as well. So just to FYI. So take it away.
Well, I will say in 2026 so far, mind you, we are 112 days in, 109 days. I know that because my birthday's on the 100th day of the year, but that's okay. But 109 days into 2026, there have been 6 notable cases where black women have been murdered by their husbands or significant other. And in 109 days, that's just a bit much. So first, we want to say their name. First is Dr. Serena Fairfax, is who we just talked about in Virginia, where her husband was a murder-suicide. She was a 49-year-old dentist and mother of 2, and she was shot and killed by her husband, former Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax, in an apparent murder-suicide. Then we have Pastor Tammy McCullum, a minister at the Well Worship Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was murdered by her husband, Eddie McCullum, on Easter Sunday this year. I will say for that one, we'll talk a little bit close, but that's actually a client of mine's sister. These people were married for 30 plus years. So there's a lot in there. Go ahead.
Let's make a correction. Allegedly murdered.
Oh, you're right. Alleged.
Convicted of any crime. So we have to say alleged. We can't put ourselves in a liability.
Yes, alleged, because we are not lawyers.
Right.
Hashtag, we're going to put that on the screen too. Okay. Case number 3, Nancy Mateo Bowen, Coral Springs vice mayor in Florida, was found dead in her home on April 1st. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, was charged with premeditated murder, according to reports. Case number 4, here in Georgia, Maika Scott, shot and killed by her estranged husband, allegedly, Mr. Titus Scott, in Grovetown, Georgia, on April 7th, before he shot himself. Number 5 is Ashley Robinson, or Ashley Janae, a Portland-based influencer, was found dead in Zanzibar on April 9th while traveling with her fiance, Joe McCain, who was reportedly to be under investigation. And last, and definitely certainly not least, Ms. Qualisha Sadiddy Barnes, a Detroit rapper and mother who was shot and killed in Atlanta on April 8th. The case that reports allegedly involves her boyfriend. That young lady was actually pregnant, and she was shot in the face here in Atlanta, and they say it's Bates because she was pregnant. Again, those are notable cases that we know of.
Now, Sadida, the rapper from Detroit, yeah, he shot her because he didn't want his wife to find out that she was pregnant.
Allegedly.
Right. Didn't want his wife to find out. The only thing I have to say about this is once a person show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. And everything is not mental health. And it really takes a real coward. The lieutenant governor, he really pissed me off because you could have just took yourself out and left your wife. You know,
hell, anybody that does a murder suicide, in my opinion, what's the point of killing all the other folks and then kill yourself? Selfishly, I say deal with you, because if you kill them and you kill yourself, you're not even here to see what happened. You're not here to know what's going on. You just for what? If you're not gonna be here to see the aftermath, what's the point of taking them anyway? Because thinking like a crazy person, there go me watching case files at 5 and 6 and growing up. I think like a crazy person sometimes. I promise you I won't kill my cousin. But thinking like a crazy person, if I want to see the aftermath of my destruction, if I were to kill somebody, I want to see the aftermath. What is the point of killing yourself? What's the point?
In my opinion, that's what the coward, you're a coward, you weak. You know what I mean? Because that's just cowardice, that's weakness, and that's selfishness. Why did you have to kill her? To leave those kids with nobody? You know, you just oh Lord.
Coward is the nicest word.
I think we need to work a definition of mental illness. Stacey said early before we came on about a psychologist was on Roland Martin talking about everything's not psychological or mental illness. I beg to differ. I think we need to have a working definition of what is mental illness. To me, a mental illness is when you want to, or part of, to do harm to someone and even yourself. That's what psychotic and neurotic behaviors are. Psychotic is to hurt others. Neurotic is to hurt yourself. So it is mental health, but mental health does not abscond you from the action. You still are guilty. And when the brain is not working what we perceive as normal or rational, it's subject to do anything. So I beg to differ. I think it is.
I had to agree with the psychologist. Everything, in my opinion, I've always said is not mental health, because I truly believe some people are just born pure evil.
But you don't think that's mental health? But you don't think that's mental health?
No, I think evil is a much higher level than mental health, because I view it as, and I talk to my counselor, my therapist, every week. So I view mental health as treatable and a possibility of maybe, bringing you back to this side if you go too far to that side. Evil is down to the core of the soul and the bones and the bloodline and the heart, if you have a soul. And I just view it totally different.
I mean, mental health, you would think about is it a sociopath? That's a mental health, but that's still at the core of them. So I think I sit on the line of both of those, because yes, you cannot put everything on. I was depressed, I was sad, I was this, because if that's the case, we all would be out here knocking folks upside the head, because all of us got a little crazy in us. I don't care.
Depression and anxiety can be treated under mental health.
But you're focusing in only on that. All mental health issues are not treatable, because there are mental health issues we're not even aware of. So that's why
evil to our genes.
Right. But that's why they study behavior, and then they try to fit it into a diagnosis. Because remember, the slaves and the so-called white psychiatrists and psychologists with their pseudoscience, they had a diagnosis for slaves that wanted to escape. I can't call the name, but it's dystopia, something like that. That was no mental illness. So that's why I say you need a working definition of mental illness. And again, just because anxiety, depression, that's not the only thing of mental illness. It's many spectrums, just like the spectrum of autism. is many on that spectrum, but they put it under that heading of mental illness. And again, I think mental health issues is at the crust of all this behavior we're seeing.
But mental health shouldn't be an excuse. I guess that's
exactly
the answer of mental, because I mean, you have people every day. I don't know if this will be off topic, but you think about it. Crime, poverty is at the root of all crime. I don't care what. I'm not gonna say all. 98% of crime is the root of it is poverty. So right now, while everybody is struggling, you see all these robberies going up. You see all these folks getting knocked over, even if it's just for a couple dollars, because they don't have. People just don't have. Is it an excuse? No, but there's the root to it. So it's not to say that mental health or being hungry is a good enough reason for you to go and bust people upside the head, but let's address it because it is part of the issue.
But poverty has been a stronghold, in certain communities. They got a choke. I mean, poverty. I mean, is poverty mental health?
Poverty is not mental health, but the effects of poverty,
I think what she's saying is, if you remember, I don't know if you took psychology, but Pavlov and the dogs, it was a conditioned response, and Pavlov had the bell ring for the dogs to be fed, and they would produce saliva. And so what he did to see if they can be conditioned to give that same response, he did that trial for a while, or that experiment for a while. Then he stopped feeding them. So he rang the bell to see if they would salivate in the absence of the food, and it did. And I think that's what she's saying about the poverty. The poverty causes a stimuli for some, not all, because we're not trying to say everybody
right
can produce criminal behavior.
Right.
Right.
And some of it, I feel like criminal behavior is some of it might be hereditary, some of it just might be habit forming, and it just
learn behavior.
Learn behavior. I mean, but are criminals born? It's kind of like, do we have some people that have some serious mental problems, schizophrenic, whatever it may be. And my thing is, well, do we have people that are truly born and need to be institutionalized all their life? Yes, we do. Do we have some that are born and can be reformed? Yes, I believe we do have some that can be, reformed and brought back and maybe help them. But at the end of the day, are these people born this way, or are they just learned, like I said, they learn?
The world will never know.
We don't know.
It's like the Tootsie Roll Pop. We just
It's like don't know. What I think it was Freud. Is it Freud? Sigmund Freud? It was Nurture versus Nature.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was. So it says a psychological diagnosis is a formal, evaluation by a mental health profession, psychologist or psychiatrist, identifying a mental health disorder based on symptoms, behavioral patterns, and distress levels. So it's a gamut. It's not just one thing.
It's not one
but
thing.
Then I stop and ask myself, how do I know that this psychologist that I'm talking to is giving me the truth about what I need to know? He might have mental health issues, and I'm coming to him.
I'm sure he do.
And so
But when you think like that, you're starting to put I call it stinking thinking, and so you're starting to base everything on your personal view, and you can't prove it to me, so it don't exist. You see what I'm saying? We know that everything has its fallacies, but you got to believe some things are true in life. I mean, the evidence is there. So it's just like with the religion, Return of Christ. We don't know. We believe it. Some people, I know. None of us really know.
We don't know.
Right. So it's just what we choose to. But again, you have to be careful going down that line of doubting everything and everyone. There is truth out there, and you can discover the truth.
But when it comes to domestic violence, my thing is with some of these people, and like I said, my phrase will always be, once they show you who they are, believe them. Maya Angelou, that was the best statement ever made.
Totally agree.
You know, once they show you who they are, take that and have a clear understanding of what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that statement wholeheartedly. Don't get me wrong. However, when you think about, you say that people can change and people can reform and people can do different. If we live by that, are we giving people the room to change? Are we giving?
I don't decide to no. I don't think they are.
So then that's the case. You can't at the same breath say that people can get better and people can change. Because if a man was schizophrenic, he had undiagnosed schizophrenia up until he was 21, he get diagnosed, he taking his medication, and now he's a different person. Are we going to hold his first 21 years against him because he didn't know no better? It was undiagnosed or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But the other point I'm making is, yes, when people show you who they are, I don't want to say we keep a flag or a post-it note there, but we can't be a society of, reform and people can change if we don't give them the chance to do that. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to still hold that against me, what the fuck am I changing for?
Well, you're changing for yourself.
I'm changing for myself to do better in society.
To become a productive citizen of this society. I mean, I would want to say that
doesn't give me the chance even after I change. What the fuck am I changing?
Just because they've already slapped that label on you for 21 years. It took you 21 years to get shit together. So they slapped the label on you.
I got something that I couldn't help. I didn't know. Yeah. So yes, we have to keep that in mind, but also we have to be more
I mean, it's kind of like mothers. I feel like some mothers, when they raise their little Tay Tay and Ray Ray now, and they showing you at 2 and 3 years old how bad they are, and you're ignoring the signs of their behavior because you label it as cute. Oh, because you got these little kids, they'll call it, oh, bitch, so, oh, boy, don't be doing that. Now, why you say that? And apologize. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now he displaying these bad behaviors at 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And then when he get 12, he coming at you with a butcher knife because he about to take your heart out your chest. So you didn't try as a parent to get Ray Ray and Tay Tay that help that they needed. So this wouldn't be a future problem because it was so cute. You go and put gold chains around their necks. You put the gold, your bracelets around their necks. And you don't.
That's a whole nother topic and conversation that leads into the same thing we're talking about as far as mental health and these people going crazy.
But these are the ones that later on commit murder. Because when they never saw them act out.
Well, not necessarily, but I think we gotta kind of focus on this murdering of Black women because none of us are really psychologists, psychiatrists, and professionals to really get at the core of it and not to dismiss what we're saying because it's valid issues. So I think we do need to do that. But for the slavery, it was a fake mental illness described enslaved people who ran away as drapetomania.
Right.
I just read that in something else.
So that's the label they put on the slaves when they tried to run away.
Right. So I'm with you as far as everything is not per se mental illness because to run away for freedom is definitely no mental illness.
I'm just going to say, wouldn't that be like run away for freedom? I mean, don't give me no label because I want to be a runaway slave because I'm trying to get away from this. You know what I'm saying? But you slap a label on that too? Because they're trying to be free?
But that's what they were saying about pseudoscience. It's not real, but some of the stuff that we're talking about as far as this violent tendency, it does show legitimacy. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So the murder.
And can we truly say that each individual, we know, everybody have a tendency to be violent, just depending on the situation and the time and, you know what I'm saying, what it's in all of us. If you push a person too far, now we may become violent, but they ain't gonna, well, if you're trying to kill me, shit, I'm gonna kill you. That's self-defense, I would say. But that's something that's in all of us.
So you're saying nature.
Yeah, it's nature. It's fight or flight. If you come at me, I'm gonna come at you. But to just have okay, in these situations, now we're looking at this whole Ashley Robinson thing. It's all over everywhere. She's the one that was found in Zanzibar.
The one that flew over there too with the white man.
I wasn't gonna say it like that, but that's what I was trying to say.
Was he her husband, fiance, or what?
No, they got engaged when they got over there, and then the next day they found her hanging.
So that's the part that doesn't make sense because they're saying it's suicide. The girl put it all over her social media. She was all happy with her white chocolate, and now she's dead on the murder suicide. And it was suicide. That doesn't make sense to me. Not to say that this man killed this woman, but somebody killed her. And you can't tag it on suicide because she was happy. But
he's supposed to be a wealthy white man. Okay, first of all, let's give it the facts. He's supposed to be a wealthy white man that had showered her with all these gifts. You know what I'm saying? And now he fly her away.
So why would she commit suicide?
Why would she commit suicide when he probably paid somebody to come in there and hang her from the tree or whatever she was hanging from or whatever? But women, I mean, in relationships, men and women both, get to know who you dealing with. And with the one you talking about with your client, 30 years of marriage, and you still don't know him, he come and kill you. I mean,
but see, there's the wall that we put up, because it's not that you don't know that person. Okay, in the situation with my client, that man had a surgery a couple months ago, and he's been taking pain pills. Even the family says that he just wasn't right leading up to it. He wasn't himself. Something wasn't right. It felt like he was addicted to the pills, but not. They just knew it just made him different. Then for this to happen on an Easter Sunday after they had a great sermon, they were friends. They went out all the time. They were so cute. They had a great life together. They feel like, even the family feels like he snapped or something wasn't right with him. Now here we are 2 weeks later, the man is on a suicide watch in the jail because he's not getting his medication, and he's withdrawal is the word that she used. She's upset with him, don't get me wrong, or the family is, but they're understanding of what happened. They understand that motherfucker.
But do they really understand? Or when they were out front as a couple, everything was happy go. We happy, we this loving couple. And behind the scene, not behind bars, but behind the scene at night when it's just them, he was slapping upside that head. I mean, we'll never know because she dead. So we'll never know.
We will never know. Just like in any of these cases, we'll never know. However, that's not to say that you don't know the person that you're with, because if that you'll never know somebody 100%. You won't. So when you say you're in a relationship and I've been with this man for so long and we don't know each other, you'll never know anybody 100%. Right. But you know I'm good enough to know that. Like for me, I know when my husband look at me, I need to shut the fuck up. The way he's giving me a certain look, just let me shut up. I know that. I mean, that goes for my mama. That goes with my kids. If they look at me a certain way, I don't push the certain button where it's like, lady, enough is enough.
Okay, but then my next question would be this: if they saw the reaction was changing when he was on the medication, why didn't they go back to the doctor and say, "Hey, look, this medicine is
family's responsibility. It's his responsibility. It's his wife's responsibility. You can't tell the rest of the family, hey, you need to go." All they did their part by saying, hey, something's not right. Hey, I noticed this. Hey, because that's a question I did ask. But it's not the family's responsibility to go to the doctor. Like, if
they didn't confront him and say, yo, dude, they did.
They did. Kind of strange. Not right. I asked that question. They said they just seem like something just ain't right. You not acting the same. Oh, my earring done fell off, y'all.
I just got a breaking news from Yahoo. 8 children killed in a shooting in Louisiana that police say was a result of a domestic disturbance.
Wow. Yeah. with the medications, if you listen to those pharmaceutical commercials, they tell you real fast at the end about the yes. So it is possible.
And diarrhea.
Right. It is possible strange behaviors can happen from medication, and especially pain pills. We saw that because now it's hard to get pain pills. I had heart surgery. They cut on me and they didn't give me nothing. This was 3 years ago.
They said rub it out.
Take some Tylenol. That was it. And I tell you, that pain was hell for 2-3 days, but I pushed through it. So the reluctance is there. And again, you don't know what addiction will do. Addiction causes people to do many bizarre, strange things. It can.
Yeah. And you don't know that I don't think a lot of people know they have the tendency or the gene or the whatever it is for addiction. We'll say, yeah, my granddaddy was an alcoholic, and you brush it off, but you don't realize that might be one of those epigenetics. Y'all know that's my favorite word. That you attach to, and you just don't know.
Correct.
So, somebody taking this medication. Sugar is a damn addiction. People don't even think about. So it might be attached to something as simple as sugar.
But at the end of the day, these people giving off signs that something is going wrong. I feel like you will get, now something could be instant. Don't get me wrong. He could just lay down when they didn't stop. But even what you said, like the family was, we knew something was wrong. Okay, well then call the police. Put him in a straitjacket. Get him out of here before you hurt somebody.
You think it's okay if a man is happy all day and all of a sudden he coughed different or he moved different? One incident, maybe 10 small little things don't cause for a straitjacket. And when I say small little things, it could be.
I don't mean literally a straitjacket, but I'm saying not
but
like.
Call the police,
you know what I'm saying? I'm saying like get some help. Can we? Okay, so he's not recognizing that he is changing into a different person. So let's bring in some professionals, and baby, let's talk to somebody. Let's, you know what I'm saying, because you're moving weird.
One thing is hindsight is 20/20.
Right.
But then on the other hand, you think about people change and evolve every day. We grow into a different person every day. We learn something about ourselves. We do something. So yes, it might be he doing something weird or he doing something different. Or is that growth? Is that who he was? I don't know, like frustration or patience for women. Because, you get a certain man, we ain't got nothing.
Well, I've been around people that have been addicted, like to crack, cocaine, and stuff like that. And they do change. And you will see a difference. You will find them standing in a room somewhere, just standing there looking around. They peep out of windows. There's going to be some type of indication if this medication is taking over your body and your mind. Is something going on that's going to say, hey, look, bro, moving different. You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy, I got something. You know what I mean? People
moving different and change, I think, in a lot of people might be the same behavior. Moving different and growth might be the same behavior. And if you have somebody on the outside that see that something is a little different and they think that maybe you just going, because they might not know you on this different medication. There's people we don't know snort powder at work. They got the little thing that, and they like, oh, they're
so happy. CEOs, COOs, directors, presidents, every day.
So when we see somebody do something a little different, it's like, no big deal.
But addiction is going to move in and take over differently than saying, okay, that's growth.
Mm-hmm.
That addiction is going to show you something different in that person that's not going to be a sign of growth. It's going to be a sign of, why are you sitting there staring out the window like
that? How long is too long? Or how long should it take for somebody to say?
I think 2-3 days. I think 2-3 days.
Is that lie? But
on the medication.
So 2 or 3 days of being on the medication and you do something different, we gonna call the police and say something ain't right?
Well, I'm not when I say call the police, I'm not trying to say call the police. Like I'm saying, like get some help. Let's be like, baby, come on. You know, you're moving weird. This is, you know what I'm saying? Is the medicine doing something to your mind? Are you seeing straight? You seeing blurry? What's going on? Do you hear
I'm
what's
high. Why
you
am
know?
I high? Because my ass is in pain.
Yeah,
I'm high and I feel great. I mean, okay, I just took some, I don't even know, was it an oxycodone? It was Wednesday.
that's why
Yeah,
you slept.
I did. I slept, but then the problem is on Thursday, I felt like, oh my God, I was dragging all day Thursday.
Uppers and downers. Uppers and downers.
Right.
Like,
Right.
oh my
because
God.
we also have to look at the fact: do they drink alcohol? Are they drinkers? Do they
Fightful. So you just can't necessarily burden down your law enforcers with those type of situations. I think what happens is if you're together, it's a couple, because we're going to focus on this violence towards murdering towards these women. Then if you're a couple and you're in tune to his behavior, her behavior, then if you know the doctor, then you might need to talk to the person and call the doctor. You don't need police intervention. However, if things does start to go left, then you should make sure you let some family members know, or the neighbor, and the police, hey, I got something going on with my husband, my wife, something is not quite right. And they'll tell you, has he hurt you? Has he threatened you? Then they're not going to get involved. But you got to keep a diary. But you got to let somebody know. Unfortunately, these type of things don't get the proper treatment until something fatal or bad happens. That's just par for the course. Yeah. But you can't ask the doctor to see if you can get them in, because I'm seeing some different behaviors. And they may lie to the doctor because of addiction, but at least you're doing positive steps or being proactive. That's pretty much all you can do. If you leave them, then that's not necessarily a safe step either.
But they might stalk you and kill you. But all at the same time, if a person is not normally on any type of medication and start to get on it, and you see that something, I mean, relationships have deep, dark secrets. It be things going on, like I said, behind the scene that people never know about. They take to their grave, and they show up to the world as the perfect couple. You know, everything is great at the house. We're doing good. So we really never know. I'm just, like I said, I'm just on. Once you show your ass on me one time, baby, you would not get another chance. You're only going to call me a bitch one time. You're only going to call me a whore one time. You're only going to, like you're going to strike, like you about to hit me. Oh, that's only going to be one time, baby. We're not doing this no more. That's just who I am. Now, that might be why I'm still single at 61 and will probably remain single to death. But you're only going to show out on me one time. And I'm done with that.
Yeah, but it doesn't quite work that way with relationships. When it's love involved and emotions and kids and finances and houses, it's not always a one and done. So again, you have to evolve.
Well, I think that's the trick. I think that's the trick to keep you, and then you end up dead, and everybody
well, not necessarily, but it's about compromise. It's never going to go your way all the time. It's never going to go the spouse way all the time. You're not being pragmatic. You're not being pragmatic.
Compromise with somebody that's giving you this type of behavior if you didn't cook the chicken right, and then start throwing shit in the kitchen and slamming stuff and and throw away his whole
That's extreme though, sis. That's extreme, and that's also a mental health issue.
Right. That's not learning how to handle disappointment. So you got to get for that.
That's something else. He crazy.
Yeah.
Or she crazy. Because women do that. But it is about compromise, because you're not gonna get what, trust me. You're not gonna get what you want.
Relationship may be about compromise, but once he or she start acting a fool and showing you something else, I don't think we have anything to compromise about anymore.
I'll say this, and this is me being ridiculously vulnerable. When I first got married, I have an issue of going from 1 to 100. And I did that really, certain triggers would make me do that like quickly. When we first got married, other than my dad and my older cousin, my husband has been the only man that will raise his voice, and I'll be like, okay, yes, sir. Because they don't raise their voice very often. And when they do raise their voice, it's you need to listen. You need to hear what they're saying because something is going on. Well, when we first got married, I struck up my relationship with my older cousin again. And I thought everything was going good as far as me and him goes. But what was happening, and it took almost a year for me to realize this. I was taking those feelings and those hurts and those angers from my older cousin. I was taking to bring them home and taking them out on my husband. And so he would say something because I'm spacey and he's very liberal logical. And he would say something and y'all get on my nerves. And instead of me hearing what he's saying, I hear him yelling at me. And it would just be, no, that doesn't make sense. And I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to go the fuck out. And we fought. Year 2 was rough for my marriage. Year 2 was just, it was hell. Because I was taking those feelings that I didn't know were still there and taking them out on him every time he said something that was opposite of what I wanted. Or when he did get mad, he would yell. And it took me a minute to realize that. But I was acting a fool. I was acting a plumb fool. And if my husband would have left me because I was acting a plumb fool,
he would have had every right.
He would have had every right. Mm-hmm. So the point we're making is just because somebody's showing you something don't mean that they're just crazy. It could be something going on. And it took me one day in the middle of an argument where he's in the bathroom and I'm coming in the bathroom and in the middle I was like, wait a minute, that ain't got nothing to do with him. And I had to stop and realize where that was coming from. I'm building a relationship with a man that triggers the shit out of me. Like I done pulled a knife on my cousin. Allegedly, I done did a lot of stuff. Allegedly. And I'm taking it out on my husband. Mm-hmm. So I say all of that to say that sometimes you do go through things in a relationship that somebody say, bitch, you need to go because that motherfucker crazy. But figure out what that is. And he was trying to figure out, like, what the fuck is going on with you? Why are you cutting? And then I would get mad again. So he just stopped talking about it, period.
But then let me pose this question right here. In marriages, relationships, partnerships, spouse can be jealous of their partner. Spouse can be jealous of their wife. Spouse can be jealous of their husband. Years and years of build up, jealous because, she might be leveling up, he leveling up, you having a problem with it, because your business may not be leveling up. I mean,
that's personal.
Can't that be in a relationship where you got jealousy and jealousy leads to outrage?
But that's their personal issue. And as you as a partner, y'all got to figure that out. Either they want to figure it out or they want to stay stuck. But if you're going to stay stuck, either we need to separate this. This can't be brought into our dynamic because it causes the issue, or we need to go figure that out.
But what about the people that hold it in? What about people that hold it in? I mean, they've held it in 22, 23 years that they're jealous of.
That's their personal issue. It's not the spouse. Because they chose to hold it in and didn't want to deal with it or didn't realize they need to deal with it. The other thing is, you're right, the jealousy, all those can play a part, and they do play a part because we're humans, and those are human emotions. And we're gonna.
I get jealous because I be like, I didn't know he's smarter than me. Like that was the other thing. I'm supposed to be the smartest person in the room. My husband gets on my nerves when you go to talk about politics or history or stuff. That's jealous is a strong word, but I feel some kind of way because I'm like, I'm supposed to be smart. Yeah, but it's not jealousy, but that's I is it adore? That's
admire.
What I admire. I love about him. It made me feel some kind of way because that's supposed to be me, but I admire that about him. And for him, it's opposite because you talk about something weird or business or marketing or computers. That's all me. I'm that person for him. it's an admiration, but he feels some kind of way because he ain't that person in that field. So we're opposites in that regard, but we come together because we shoot unnecessary facts across the
well, okay, so I guess it go all the way back to the question in the beginning of the show. Why are the black women being offed? Why are they being killed?
Well, the black woman has always had to go under such dire and hurtful conditions in this country. She bear the burden, as well as the black man. And so it's just par for the course. I think it's a psychological mindset. Men, we are rulers. The women is submissive. Even in the animal kingdom, you have very few female leaders in the pack. Not to say that it does not happen, because the hyena, the female rules the pack.
And lions.
And with the lion, but the male is the dominant one, but the female, she really everything. But she can't survive without the female. She just can't, because the outside competitors are too dominant and they will crush her. And like you mentioned about the husband and the certain look, or the dad would give a certain look. That's the way it is with elephants. The male elephant starts to get riled up, even with lions, because they kick the young males out of the pride because they become too, quote unquote, managed. They start to try to hump on their sisters and
themselves.
Right. And so the male has to kick them out. The female wouldn't be able to. But the elephants, when those young male lions start to become into their adolescence, they really get really frisky and really rambunctious and disobedient. That big male comes in and takes order. So it is a pecking order to the male and female relationship. And that's not about a disrespect. It's not about one is better than the other or stronger than the other. It's just the way nature intended it. But this
it's just structured that way in order. Yeah.
But this racist system we're in the belly of the beast. The black woman has always felt the brunt, and she's an easy target. And we see it now. So he might have been frustrated because they say it kind of like spiraled out when he didn't win the election. I think he ran for governor or something. And he started having an affair allegedly, and gambling allegedly, not paying the credit card and the house note debts and things of that nature, neglecting his child support allegedly. And then he just spiraled out. So I don't know. I
don't understand why it's all. I mean, I get it. I know it's by design that the man, men's supposed to be the head, and they say that in the Bible that the women came from the real, but the man really. But
that's a story. That's not real.
They don't really know, because whenever we allow the men to be in charge and lead and all that, everything seems to go another way.
And I think honestly, the reason that is, and that's me being a married woman, because a man is the head of the household. However, the man can't do shit without a woman. The head can't do nothing without a neck. I'm sorry. The head can sit on the block all day long and sit there and say he running stuff, but ain't doing nothing but doing this. Why? Because all he have is a mouth.
Lip balance, just straight lip balance. Da, 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 da.
You have to have the neck. And I think the problem is women go to the Bible and they say, well, he the head of the household, so I'm going to sit back and do nothing. That's part of the problem. Why we say that men don't do nothing is because the woman takes it too far and be like, oh, well, since he the man, I'm going to sit back and let him do what he do. No, what are you supposed to be doing? We talk about the head of the household, but we never talk about the Ruby woman. The Ruby woman got a whole list of shit that she's supposed to be doing too. And women ignore that. And so because we ignore that, we put everything on the man. And then when shit falls by the wayside, it's because his dumb ass don't know.
And I also think that
bash us all. I'm being the only man here. You ain't gonna bash us all. Okay. But it's a partnership.
It is, but the success of the black woman is a problem for a lot of black men.
Because of that,
what black woman is a problem. Malcolm X said it.
Black men are the most educated. They're the most in college. They're the most this. Why? Because we had to go out there and figure it out. When they took our men away, because
but they took themselves away because they chose to say be crack dealers and go to jail or to the cemetery.
They took them away because women said, or the church said, the Bible said, all of these said a man's supposed to be the head of his household. If that man can't get no job, what the hell he got to go out to do? He need to go sell some crack, sell some ass, sell some pampers,
He don't have to do that, but he can cut grass, pick up cans. He could be a handyman. He don't have to go.
He can do all of that to
way.
take care of his house. But guess what? If he can't get that job with the benefits and and then the woman figure out that, wait a minute, I can make more money if his ass ain't here because we got 5 kids that we got to take care of. So what do? You tell that man, you got to live over there. We're going to put your stuff in this Rubbermaid container. We're going to do all of this stuff because we got to take care of these kids. So again, they took those men out of the house, let somebody else take care of them. And then when we figured out that, wait a minute, this still ain't enough money to take care of these kids.
Well, let's go
let's better ourselves. Let's do this. And women became so strong. Women became so loud, so boisterous. So now I'm the head of the household. Now I don't need nobody. And now you turn around and say, well, why that man ain't doing this? Because you won't let him. You loud, you're boisterous.
Right. That's that stinking thinking. You do need a man. We need each other.
I need that hard-headed, stubborn, Libra, balanced.
We need each other. And because you was like, it's not so much as you need for breath and oxygen, but
I know what you're saying.
We need each other to make us all whole.
Yeah.
To make us whole. Yeah. And needing each other, it doesn't.
It's not a weakness.
Always.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, he broke up.
He froze.
But yeah, needing. I don't think needing a man.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up a little bit. Yo, you back now? Okay. Yeah, you
okay. Go ahead. I was gonna try to finish what you were saying. But
no, I was just saying, as far as we working definition of need, I think you need this man, you need this woman, you take this abuse, you take this mistreat. That's not the point that I'm making as far as need. I'm saying we all need each other to become whole. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And I think because women have gotten so I don't need, we put this stigma on the man of he ain't good enough, he ain't shit, he ain't this. I don't think we're realizing that we're putting him in almost an impossible situation. Yeah, we're putting him in an unattainable situation because I can do this. I don't need you to do those things for me, but you're not also, if anybody, you have to show them that you want them. It's not just about need, because everybody needs something. We're going to need, and need is not about using or abusing. It's about coexisting.
And I think one thing we have to deal with and address in this society is that we have a lot of thirsty women. We have a lot of thirsty women who are willing to deal with anything on any level, just long as the materialistic part of it keeps flowing and keep coming in. That's a bit like the young lady over in Tanzania. She was clout chasing. And you clout chase right on over to the jungle and you got hung. You know what I'm saying? Because you're so worried about the materialistic things. But like the words of the late, great Malcolm X said, Malcolm X said, until the Black man learns to respect and love the Black woman, no other race will respect him. So, Houston, we have a problem.
That was a good line from Malcolm X.
Right, however, but for today's time, the Black woman also has to respect the man in order for our relationship and community to be whole and our children. So respect goes both ways. Respect goes both ways.
It goes both ways. And we have to understand that when we say be submissive to a man, it doesn't mean lay out and wait on him to do something. When we say the man is the head of the household, that don't mean you get to lay back and put your feet up and all you got to do is cook, fuck, and suck. No, there's other things that need to be done that he can't do. My bad. I should have said.
Okay, so now you want to take it from the biblical stand. You want to take it from the biblical standpoint because people want to say, okay, well, we're going to abide by what the Bible say. So
the Bible also tells that woman to get off her ass. Nobody.
No. Because let the white people tell it now. According to the Bible, the woman's supposed to stay at home and take care of them kids and cook and take care of them.
According to the white people, they also said in the Bible that slavery was good. Fuck what them white people say.
I'm just simply saying that. You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be submissive to your man? You're gonna be
this past week they had a lady bishop. I can't call her name right now. I think Roland Martin featured as well, and she was at a conference or whatever, and she made mention that people was said about the Word of God. I think it's Bishop Ludd, and she said the Bible isn't just what we perceive the Word of God. No, it's words about God. And we have become Bible idolatry, where everything the Bible is right, just, and we got to hold it in this high esteem. For those who want to, that's fine.
That's their business. I've never been
right. But I think where they miss it is Bible history. Where did it come from? Because what we have today, from a Bible standpoint, is from a Roman Greco, the Greeks and the Romans minds, and those folks didn't care nothing about no black people.
Because they know, and we don't even know what they was writing. You probably couldn't even understand them because what were they writing with?
I mean,
it's lost interpretation, but it's manipulation. It's about control and domination.
And I mean, people, like you said, they talk about the Word of God, but the Bible, in my eye, this is just for me, is just like Aesop's fables. You know, it's a guide. It's
allegory.
It's the worm. I feel like we use it as a guideline. And if we're going to keep going back to that guideline, we need the context of the guide. Exactly. We can't just take that one line and say this is law. So as we're talking about these women here, and stepping back, I keep referring to the ruby woman. It's in Proverbs somewhere. I don't know. I ain't that good. But it's in there. And there's literally a list of things that the ruby woman has to be to complement that man that's supposed to be the head of her household. Only time that people talk about a ruby woman is after the kids are gone and the kids are no, it's shit that goes along in that, because it does say a man who don't provide don't eat. It does say all of that. What, the ruby woman?
Yeah, Proverbs 24.
Proverbs 24. So we skip over that. We focus on the man at the head of the household, a man who don't work, don't eat, But if I'm playing devil's advocate here, a woman can be considered a man because we are male, we are a person. So, bitch, your ass need to go work so you can eat too. It's not just about him. You don't have it. Yeah. So
Eve had Adam to bite the apple. He committed sin.
But those are allegories. Those are not real. Those are allegories. It's just not true. It's just examples, but I think we have to be rational, logical beings. Mm-hmm. People can use the Bible for anything they want. We all cherry pick.
Shit. Okay,
right, exactly. We all cherry pick.
Oh, that's but it's an individual thing to me as far as
right. So you have to. Is it Proverbs 31st one? But anyways, you have to know you. You have to know the creator instead of the creation, because that's where your true power lies. Because Moses, Joshua, and all the Old Testament folks, they didn't have no Bible. They went off their relationship, their personal communication with God, the creator. They couldn't read or write. So writing just started to come about. And then we start writing, or they start writing because those people were dying to tell the story. It's just like what our ancestors did. It's folklore. They told us about the history from their mamas and daddies from slavery. And when they died, we lost it because it was all verbal. So you have to write it down. And that's what they did with the Bible. And again, some stuff got lost in interpretation because the originators were dead.
Yep, you got that right. Unfortunately, guys, we got to come to a close. And we got to revisit this again, like soon. I'm talking about, because like this is like we got to talk about this.
Well, we need to focus in on women and the abuse that they have, because they, and just a couple of things, they do have those 2 shows out on TV One. Fatal Attraction
and My Man. My man.
So it shows a psychological issue up here that we have with relationships and each other and ourselves, individual selves, and we need some help. We truly do.
Yep. And I'm going to reach out to some women in the Facebook group that confident. I'm gonna reach out and find some that got out of a domestic violence and see if I can get them to come on, because we need somebody that can kind of, I can tell you about teenage domestic violence when I was fighting and whatever with old boy, whatever, but not since I've been, grown, because that was never going to happen again, in life. So yeah, I'm going to reach out and we can bring some people on who have survived domestic violence, men or women. And we're going to do that, because this really need to be out there. It really
and
does.
then you talk about get our shit together. Look for the shit reflections and the question of the day from this episode, because it's going to ask those questions and make you think, like, what is going on in my relationship? What is going on within me? Because you can't have a healthy relationship if you don't have a healthy you. And that's not to say you're going to be 100%. Because we grow every day. That's a whole nother headache for me.
Yes,
but just some things that make you think and question yourself. So yeah, shit reflections have been pretty good. Y'all have been interacting with those, and I think the ones that's going to come from this episode is going to be
very good.
Deep, pretty deep.
TikTok be getting on my nerves. They'll be like, and then what happened to me? I'll be like, oh Lord. I'll be like, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Yeah, go to YouTube. But I found our Substack, and the Substack has a little more, talking and thinking about the episodes. So we'll have those posts. Look for the post on Instagram. Like I said, it's just questions. Answer those polls and just give us some ideas and some reflections so we can come and talk about them. And if you
don't be ashamed to come and want to be on the podcast. You know what I mean? Don't be ashamed to want to be on the podcast. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We all human.
We all crazy.
And none of us gonna be perfect. You know what I mean? Just fix your hair, put a cap on, wrap it up, whatever, and come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Let's balance out our crazy together as we get our shits.
Exactly. And until next time, YouTube podcast land, have a great week. We appreciate each and every one of you. And trust me, this thing is going to be hot.